welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Lou. I would like to first take the time out to thank each and every one of my listeners who listened to my podcast last week on self-care. I'd like to thank everyone who shared the podcast, who told somebody about the podcast, and everyone who provided their feedback. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The response has been both so humbling and so gratifying. I can't even explain. I don't have words to explain how the response from you guys has made me feel, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that even one person got something from my self-care message. If it made one person feel better about their day, about their week, I couldn't ask for more. So again, thank you everybody. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And again, thanks for your feedback. Your feedback is helping me to even navigate my own self-care journey. I'll say this. I got a response from a listener that said that doing this podcast is a form of self-care. And I was like, wow, for real, this is really an outlet for me to just get my thoughts out and, share how I feel. And that in itself is therapeutic. So again, thank you guys so much. And let's just get into episode number 2. I've been on a journey to find myself over the last year and a half. It's been a roller coaster. It's been emotional, stressful. It's been eye-opening. It's been humbling. And all this started from an argument. It's really funny how things happen and why things happen, but I always try to live by, in everything, give thanks. And I'm thankful for everything that has happened in my life, everything that I've gone through, because honestly, without having to have gone through all of the things that I have been through, I don't think I would be where I am today, and I don't think I would be the person I am today. So, to what has been, what is happening, and what is to be, I am thankful, I embrace it, and I'm humbled by every single experience. Like I said, this whole journey started from an argument that I had that really left me without words. It left me wondering if I know who I am. And that's a big thing for a lot of people. That is a true struggle that I've been dealing with probably for most of my life, and I'm only realizing it now. I have always prided myself on being stronger for getting through the things that I've got through in my life. I've experienced loss, I've experienced failures, I've experienced successes, and I've, for the most part, gotten through it in one piece. And for that, I'm grateful. I lately have been questioning how I got through it. And I know, for one, it's definitely been by the grace of God. But I ask myself how I've gotten through these things, because when I take a step back and look at myself from an outsider's point of view, not that you can really look at yourself from an outsider's point of view, but when I look at myself and try to analyze my life, I really have to ask myself, wow, how did you get through these things? I know that I've gotten through these things by the grace of God, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to overcome all that I've been able to overcome with Him guiding my steps and leading me and protecting me. In the spirit of keeping it real, I got in a really bad argument with someone, and they basically took a mirror, turned it around, and showed me my own self. And what did I find? I found an angry, miserable, confused individual that was lost. And it was a very scary reality to have to face. But I didn't have a choice at that point in time. The truth was shown to me and I had to deal with it. So what did I do? I started going to therapy. And that was a very big step that I had to take because I'm not one to embrace sharing. I'm not one to embrace my vulnerabilities, and I've prided myself on getting through a lot of things in the physical sense by myself. That argument showed me that I was not being the best version of myself, and I hadn't been the best version of myself for a very long time. And I really had to take a step back and figure out how I can get back to the person who I want to be, the person who those around me need me to be. So the decision to go to therapy was one that I made first for myself, but also for my kids and for my family. I think it's very important when you have people that depend on you, you need to prioritize being the best version of yourself, because when you don't have control of yourself, you cannot have control of what's happening around you. As a mom, if I'm always angry, if I'm always miserable, if I'm always in a negative space, all that negativity is going to pour out onto my kids. If you're in a relationship, that negativity pours out into your relationship and it becomes toxic. And the worst thing for anybody is to live in a toxic relationship, to live in a toxic environment, and it was just not a good space for me to be in. So I had to make a change. I had to take ownership of the fact that I was not where I needed to be. So therapy was what I needed to do. I needed the help to get me from a point in my life that I was stuck and struggling with to a point where I could get back to thriving and, progressing in life. And it was a very necessary step that I had to take. Fast forward to today, I have been in therapy for about a year, and to be very honest, it has taken me the entire year to start opening up. And that sounds a little crazy, right? But yeah, it was a struggle for me to open up to a stranger about the things that were affecting me. Not only just opening up to the strange person that is my therapist, but it was a struggle for me to allow myself to be honest with myself. And that's keeping it 100% real with you guys. My podcast is called Real Talk with Lou, so I'm keeping it all the way 100. I have not dealt with things that happened to me very early on in my life. Now that I'm responsible for more than just me, I have to be very cautious of not letting things bottle up and get to me the way they used to, because I can't hold all of the unsaid things that are bothering me in anymore. It's just becoming more and more of a burden to keep things bottled and keep things not dealt with. I feel like for most of my life. I have brushed a lot of issues under the rug, but brushing things under the rug never solves problems. I feel like a problem left unsolved, whether it's spoken or not, is only going to snowball into a bigger problem. So having an outlet to talk about certain things that are bothering me really helps me to cope with how I deal with things as they affect me on a day-to-day basis, right? I don't have to have things pile up anymore because I have an outlet that I can deal with things as they happen, not necessarily in real time, but I can definitely deal with things in a more timely manner so they don't linger and they don't fester. And it's really helped me cope with day-to-day challenges that I probably wouldn't be able to cope with if I had not taken the step to going to therapy to learn how to dissect and get to the root of certain problems in my life. So I'm very grateful for this journey, and I'm very grateful for where it's brought me, and I embrace where I'm going to be if I continue and when I complete what I need to complete as part of my therapy. In starting to share, I was tasked with the responsibility of starting to journal. And in my last podcast, I talked about self-care and making the time to take care of me. One of the challenges I face every day is time. There aren't enough hours in the day for me to do a lot of the things I wish I could do. Just to sit down and journal my thoughts is not an easy task because I'm always on the go, which is one of the reasons why I decided to start this podcast. This is only episode 2 of the very beginning of my podcast journey. I can say that it definitely is a major outlet for me, and it makes me feel so good that I can open up with somebody, even if it's to you, the listeners, who I don't even know, right? Just the fact of being able to let it out, it is such a freeing and liberating experience. I listen to other podcasters. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Kev on Stage, who host the Love Hour podcast. Shout out to Kadena and Deval Ellis, who host the Deadass podcast. I love them, and listening to them is honestly another form of therapy because they talk about things that almost directly relate to things I'm going through in my life, and it's definitely a relief to know that I'm not the only person going through all the things I think I'm going through alone. Like, it's very comforting to know that I'm not talking about things by myself. Other people are going through the same issues, and other people are finding ways to deal with it. So hearing that other people can get through certain situations with the help of therapy definitely encourages me to continue to stick with the process. And I think just sharing the experience of therapy within my peer group, within my family, within my community, especially within the Black community, is very important because as a culture, we don't talk enough about mental health awareness. We don't talk enough about getting help for things that affect our mental health. We don't talk about things that we can do within ourselves to make our communities better. And I believe that if we work on ourselves, if we're better as people, we'll be better together and we'll be better for each other. I think that's so important. So I will continue to do my best to be open, honest, and humble with all of you. I'll continue to share with realness. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like you can share without being real. So I'm going to keep it real with you guys every time. I'm going to share what's on my heart. I'm going to share the things that are really going on with me in my life. And I hope that me sharing can help somebody, even just one person. If I can help one person feel better about themselves, feel better about their life, encourage someone to get help when they need to get help, I am extremely humbled and extremely blessed to know that I've made a difference. So keep rocking with me, guys. Keep listening in. I'll have more great topics to discuss. This is just me scratching the surface, and I hope to dig deeper in getting to know myself and getting to share my journey of finding myself with you guys. I can't wait to continue this process. I can't wait to continue sharing with you guys, and I look forward to each and every episode with all of my listeners. And again, thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of episode 2 of Real Talks with Lou. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you really enjoyed my discussion of how an argument sent me to getting therapy. I can't tell you how much I'm so grateful for you guys for tuning in with me today. And I just want to remind you, Thursday, I will be having a very special guest speaker on the podcast. I can't wait to talk with her about what's going on with her. And if you guys have questions, if you guys have topic requests, please feel free to send them to my email, which is in my bio. It is lucratiaw@gmail.com. That's lucratiaw@gmail.com. Just please leave in the subject box Real Talk with Lou, and I will definitely check those out. If you guys have any listener letters that you want to send in, that you want to have read on the podcast, definitely send those in. Feel free to share your comments or feedbacks about the podcast. I will definitely read those. Real Talk with Lou is now available on Spotify, Breaker, and Radio Public. You can also listen on the Anchor app. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. It has been such a pleasure. I'm signing out. Have a wonderful night, everyone.